LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live. And let me tell you do something. Let me tell you do something right now. Floyd Money Mayweather, he has pretty much, he shot down any idea that anybody could think that he's actually going to fight in the octagon. I mean, he shut that down. He shut the UFC thing down altogether. Now, but very interestingly though, what he did say, he said that, he could easily make $1 billion by going to the UFC to fight. And I actually believe him. If he would ever go to the UFC, they would have to pay him a hefty penny for him to get in the octagon because, Floyd not about taking that punishment. And I can guarantee you he's going to have to, they're going to have to compensate him well, okay? And that's just the way that is. But Floyd, Floyd kind of understands what it is to do, MMA. And see, I like the way he answered the question. He said, I could go make $1 billion, but he said, but I won't. And, Floyd Mayweather is no idiot, okay? He's not a dummy. And he understands, man, like Floyd, he didn't get to where he is by being stupid, man. The thing of it is, man, is that Floyd, for him to even rationalize or conceptualize trying to, do MMA, it wouldn't happen, okay? It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen because he can't, there's no way that Floyd could ever, learn the other facets of MMA. Like, there's no way that he could actually do that in a period of time, and then, too, you got to look at his age. He's 40, okay? Floyd would have to actually learn how to, he have to learn how to do submission defense. And not just against one submission. He have to learn how to, he have to learn a guillotine. He have to learn how to do a Kimura. He have to learn how to do a foot heel hold, armbar submissions. I mean, you name it, rear naked chokes. He would have to learn how to do those and apply those properly. And then not only would he have to learn and do those appropriately, he would have to learn how to defend those things. And you actually have to put your body in those positions. Like, you got to get into those submissions to get out of them. And let me tell you, they're uncomfortable. The worst feeling I ever had, boy, is, the guy was like, yeah, man, I'm going to teach you how to defend a Kimura. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to tell you, the most painful thing that I've experienced was getting put into a Kimura. And it's almost like, man, your whole body just shut down. And it's like you feel absolutely helpless. Like, you feel completely helpless when you're in a Kimura. And it's almost like you can't move. And the more you try to move, the more it hurts. I mean, seriously, the more you move in a Kimura, the more it hurts. It's like somebody just taking your arm and pulling your elbow out of socket, man. I'm talking about it hurt. But that's the worst feeling. I don't like feeling completely, just helpless and can't do anything. See, Floyd would have to learn all of those things. He'd have to learn that. And that stuff takes time. I mean, it's going to take, even at the minimum, to learn the minimum, it's going to take him 3 years just to learn the minimum. And, you can't just go in the octagon. I mean, just look at what happened to CM Punk. And CM Punk already had a martial arts background. He just didn't know the other, avenues of MMA. He didn't understand the other avenues of MMA, so he went in there and he got beat up badly by Mickey Gall. I remember that, man. I was laughing my butt off because, I knew Mickey Gall was going to beat him down. People had CM Punk trying to win that fight, man. If you don't have the other facets of MMA, covered, you'll get in the octagon and get embarrassed. Like Floyd would get embarrassed because you can take an average striker, a guy with little to no punching power or skill set, and he can beat Floyd Mayweather in the octagon. Because these guys, you can clinch, and you know what they would do? They would just sprawl over to him, They wouldn't let him, keep, running or backpedaling or lateraling, all right? They're not going to let him do that. And it's much, much easier to cut the octagon off than it is in a ring. It's easier. It's much easier. So Floyd, you get one of these guys that can move and cut off the ring or cut the octagon off, he'll be a problem because they immediately grab him. They start clinching him to death. They would elbow him. They would do everything that they could to get him out of there, and they would be successful. And if you took him to his back, Floyd don't know how to fight off his back. He don't know how to do a guard. All of these things you got to learn, man. You got to learn how to do these things, and not just any old guard. You got to be able to use your guard for defense. You got to be able to use your guard for offense. I mean, you got to be able to use your guard, to submit. You see, there's so much, man, and that's why Floyd Mayweather isn't even entertaining this whole idea. He ain't entertaining this. He not even thinking about it because it's a good thought and he knows that he can make the money. But see, I think these guys, all these people that hate him, they really want to just see him, they really want to just see the guy take a lot. They don't care if it was in MMA. These are haters, these Floyd Mayweather detractors, these racists. They don't care. You know, they just want to see the guy lose because then they can say, yep, Floyd ain't the best. He got beat up in the MMA octagon. You know, Floyd could get elbowed to death. Oh, he lost. Yep, Floyd's a loser. Or, you know, Floyd got put in a submission hold, which he don't know how to defend. Oh, he's a loser. They don't care. They just want to see him lose. It was bad enough he was winning. They just want to see the guy just lose all the way around. And that's just the way that is. But on another note, Dana White, to me, I think Dana White is good for boxing. He's extremely good because, you know, Dana White, he's not going to let these boxers do what they do, A side and B side. Dana White going to cut that A side, B side out. He cutting that mess out. No, you're going to fight. If you're under his banner, it ain't going to be no A side, B side the way it is in boxing. He going to make the guys fight. And one thing that I can give the UFC and Dana White, I got to give them credit. They make these guys fight each other. And most of the cards that they have, they're pretty good cards. Like there's nothing lackluster in these cards, okay? Nothing is lackluster. Like they truly, they do a good job. They do a great job. And, you know, Dana would cut all that mess out. Like this whole mess going on with Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Could you imagine if they were all up under the UFC banner? And they were all up under that? Dana White would make them guys fight. And when they don't fight, Dana White, he take their food. These guys can't eat. If these guys ain't fighting, Dana, you ain't fighting. Okay? If you don't want to fight the person they put in front of you, then point blank, Dana White going to set you on the shelf for 6 months. You done. And, you know, to tell somebody they can't eat for 6 to 8 months when they need the paydays, see, it won't be all this cherry picking going on, man. You fight who they tell you to. That's why a personality like Dana White is good for boxing, to force these guys to fight. Force them to fight. And then he going to make them earn the money that they get, man. He going to make these guys earn that money. So it's crazy, man. As crazy as it may sound, I think Dana is good for boxing. And see, people like Oscar De La Hoya, you know, Bob Arum, I think he'll be okay. Al Heyman, you know, Eddie Hearn, you know, all those guys, I think they'll be okay. But see, the person that probably need to, you know, be really worried if Dana White get into boxing, probably be Oscar De La Hoya. Probably him, because Golden Boy right now, structurally, all they got is Canelo. And I think if a promoter really gave Canelo a good deal, actually gave him a deal, bought him out of his contract with Golden Boy, and if Canelo really, really, really wanted to, you know, if he really, really, really wanted to, okay, then he would, I'm sorry, I'm responding to a text. He would actually, you know, be able to go make more money. And they would have to pay a guy like Canelo. They would have to pay him. They would pay him well. That's just how it is. They pay him well, and, you know, Canelo will make that money. He make that money. But, you know, Oscar don't want that. Oscar don't want Dana White into in the boxing. I kind of want Dana White there. I kind of want Dana White to get in because I know what he gonna do. He gonna make the guys fight the fights that we want to see. And that, my friends, well, that's just the way that is. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done. What are you guys waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.